Oops, I almost hit end broadcast. Forget the things I have to press. Okay, sorry.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the Knits and Pieces live stream, Knit Chat.
Yes, where you never know what you're going to get.
Yes, sometimes you might not get us at all.
Anyway,
I'm,
I'm Noelle,
and I'm Kelly.
and we're coming to you from southwestern Ontario, where we actually did have a little bit of snow. And it looked very pretty. It looked very pretty.
Yes,
I think London has more snow than we do, but it did look very pretty.
they do.
Anyway, this is our informal knit chat that we have on Tuesday nights. We also do a regular podcast about once a month where we go over in more detail the things that we've been making or finishing or getting ready for Christmas. So, but this is just informal. You guys are knitting. Kelly's going to try and knit today.
We'll see.
Anyway, we have a lot of people here already. So, hi, everybody. We've got Trudy, Sue, Kimberly, Elaine, Tracy, Mandy, Jan, Annette, Becky, Klaska, Janie, Gwen, Mandy, Linda, Teresa, Barb, Shirley, Sheila, Sarah, Sue, Mary is waving. We've got Shirley, Linda, Luana, Catherine, Lynn, Julia, Debbie, Kathy, Marianne, Wendy, Vicky, Nicole, Becky, Susie, Jacqueline, Anna, Dawn, Majo, and Majo. Do we have Majo's address yet? I did not get it. So Majo, you have to either go to Kelly's or my Instagram and send us a direct message, or Instagram, because wherever, if you emailed it somewhere, we didn't get it. So one of those places is probably the best to get a hold of us.
Yes,
Okay.
just send me a quick message on Instagram and I will get that in the mail. I want to get that mailed out to you.
Yes. And we've got Robin, Julia, Jean, Janet, Glenda, Donna. Oh, she said she sent it twice. I don't know where you're sending it, Majo, but we have not gotten it. So
just pop us a message on Instagram.
Yeah,
we're on that. We'll get that quick, and then
yeah.
I can get that in the mail for you.
Oh, she said she sent it on Ravelry. I'll go and look again.
Okay.
But I did not get anything. So
no, I didn't either. Okay.
But okay. So welcome, everybody. If I've missed anybody's name, I apologize. There's a lot already in here. We're so glad that you've joined us. This is fun. Tuesday nights are so fun and so exciting to get ready for. So,
and Donna's here. How's your wrist, Donna? I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah.
Hope you're back to knitting. Okay.
Okay, so Mary says her snow has turned into rain. Yeah, and you don't need more rain. I know that, Mary. So.
No, I was talking to Kendall this afternoon, and she said it was sideways rain. She was driving home from Langley. So.
No, it doesn't look good. I mean, I think we're supposed to get some rain in the next couple of days and not snow. It's amazing, actually, the difference between just being here and being in London, because I think they tend to get more snow. We tend to get more rain.
Right.
So.
Okay. Well, somebody commented on your sweater. Do you want to tell us what you're wearing?
Yep. My sweater is, I actually even made a little thingy for it so I would remember. Of course, I probably won't be able to find it, but besides that. It is Winterfjell by Skein Knits. So, and I did make a thing for it, but I can't find it. Oh, wait, there we go. Found it.
Very pretty.
So there's so many places to go through in this program. I have to go through them to see where.
What yarn did you use for that one?
The yarn is Holstgarn Super Soft. So, and the Holstgarn Super Soft is like this sweater. I don't even think it weighs 250 grams. So it's like, it's so nice because you make a nice sweater that's lightweight, but still keeps you relatively warm. So I don't know where Kelly went. I don't know if it is her internet or I don't know. But anyways, we will go on with this. Becky, thank you. I love this sweater. I actually wear it quite a bit because it is like I said, it is nice and warm, but it's still lightweight. So
I totally did that myself.
I wondered.
Okay. I'm probably going to have to give up on this little project. I thought I would start something on KnitChat tonight. You know, I'm inspired by Louise, who actually can start things and talk all at the same time. So I was going to start this cute little pattern, right? Got the yarn. I don't have the needles. I already misread the needles while I was chatting with Noelle before. Thought I didn't have them. Went and got the right ones. So then I laid everything out here underneath, and I totally forgot that my keyboard was underneath the pattern. So I'm going to get rid of that because I don't think I need that. No. And I put my hands down on top of the pattern and kicked myself out. So it's not the internet tonight. It's me. But
Donna says her hand is still a little sore and stiff, but she is attempting a little bit of knitting today. So hopefully it'll work, Donna. Just take it easy and don't push it too much.
Light knitting. Knitting.
Yes. So hi, Janie. Janie just joined us. And Sue said she ordered a bunch of super soft from Holst Garn during the sale last weekend.
Did you say Jose's name? Is she in here tonight?
Jose? Yes. I can't remember. Anyways, Kelly, did you order anything?
Yes, I was going to say Jose is a nasty little enabler. She sent us a message on our on YouTube and told me that it was on sale. And I said, no, Kelly, don't even go look. Mistake. I looked, I peeked, and I might have bought a little. I did. I bought some. And I got the notification today that it has shipped.
So, good. I'm excited to see it. Yes. But I did not order anything.
But that's because you've got an order that you just got for your birthday.
I know, but still, I didn't. But then I ordered a bunch of stuff yesterday from Wool and Silk.
Oh, shoot. What did you order? There was one skein I was looking for there. I wonder if it's shipped
I ordered mohair because they had 25% off. So I ordered the drops mohair.
The kids
because I need some to hold with yarn that's for a big sweater. Actually, it's a sweater. Do you remember when we went to Shelburne, the sweater that Tracy had on? The girlfriend cardigan. The long one?
Yes.
Well, I want to do that. So I have the base because I got some Bartlett yarn back when I was in Rhinebeck in 2018, I think it was.
Okay.
And I'll hold this mohair with it. Like the Bartlett is kind of like a grayish lavender pinky color. And I got the pale lavender mohair, and I think that'll look really nice with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
I wonder if she's packaged it up yet. Maybe I'll send her a message.
You could call, yeah. Yep.
There's one skein that I wanted. It's pretty. It was one of the sock yarns, and it was blue and it had glitter in it. It was a self-striping. I really liked it. And
is it the West Yorkshire Spinners?
I don't know. It might be.
Okay, I have that.
You already have that. Who needs to shop? I could go shop at Noelle's Yarn Boutique. So,
well, we could share it. There's probably enough to do 2 pairs.
Probably.
I'm sure there is. The West Yorkshire Spinners has the West Yorkshire Spinners has really good yardage. But yeah, we could share it. And I've got the white glitter that we could put in for the there you go.
And yours has glitter in it then, right? It has a little bit of glitter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that'll work too. That'll work.
Yep.
Oh, hi, Kimmy. Hi, friends.
Kimmy's here. Linda's here. Heather's here. Anyway, so what's everybody working on? Are you getting ready for Christmas? Are you knitting Christmas things? Or I'm actually going to be, I'm not saying that. I'm not glad when Christmas is over, but I'll be glad to go back to knitting all the things I want to knit instead of knitting what I have to knit. And it's not that I have to knit it. I want to knit it for my family and my granddaughters. But I said to Kelly earlier this week, I said, if I say next year that I'm going to knit 3 matching sweaters or dresses or to tell me not to do it. She said she already told me that this year.
I did. And I think I was pretty firm about it too. And you just didn't heed my warning.
Okay. But guys, look, they're so cute.
They are cute.
So this is.
Congratulations, Mary. She's on her 3rd Babel hat.
Oh, good.
I think you had Mary. 3 to do, right, Mary? So you're on your last one. I love that.
My first.
I love it.
Here's the second.
I love that one.
And I started the third. So there's the start of the.
It's so cute.
So they're gonna. I mean, they're gonna look adorable in them. So
I can't wait to see that picture.
I know,
All
I know,
three.
but like honestly, like they're getting so tall. I swear, in a couple of years, they'll probably be as tall as I am.
They'll be giving you their sweater hand-me-downs.
So
I'm just reading through, and Wendy is knitting a dicky cowl for her son-in-law, and she learned short rows today. Congratulations, Wendy.
Yay, yeah. Yep.
Isn't it great to learn something new? And then you think, wow, this is going to revolutionize my knitting.
It is. Sometimes it is. And short rows are, I don't remember. Do you remember back when like we were knitting like years and years ago when there wasn't the internet? Do you remember doing short rows?
No.
I know, neither do I. Like, well, a lot of our sweaters, though, to be fair,
didn't have shaping.
No, and we knit them in pieces and sewed them together, right? So if the back was higher, it was because you knit the back higher, but not through short rows because the front wasn't attached.
Mm-hmm.
So
Anna's doing yoga socks, and she took her love note off the needles. Don't you just love it, Anna? Do you seriously not just love that sweater? What else do we have?
Barbie's working on her Spectre sweater.
That's a pretty one too.
I think that's it is. I think that's a Hohi pattern. Yep.
Really pretty too. And Annette is finished all her Christmas knitting for the whole family. Wow. Wish I were you, Annette.
Right. But she says now she's going to make them fingerless mittens. See, that's what happens. If you get done early, then you go, oh, I can just add this, or I can make this.
Oh, Anne said that she missed the weight of your sweater.
Oh, it's the Holzgarn Super Soft is fingering weight, and the whole weight is probably around 250 grams.
Mm-hmm.
So, if that. So.
Okay. Somebody else. This is the hat. It's by Fox and Pine Stitches.
That's
cute.
It's
the Christmas elf cap worsted hat. And this pattern is, it's free, and you can just go onto her website. And the nice thing about this pattern is that it's sizes for the entire family. So you can make it all the way from 0 to 3 months up to an adult size. So everybody in your house could have an elf hat. And I went to Michael's and I bought the impeccable yarn. And literally, it's not showing very red. This is truly a red. This looks a little bit orange on my screen, but it is red. It's red, green, and white. And I used, whoops, there goes the green, Bordeaux, and I think it's just called Aaron is the color. And then the green one is Deep Forest. So it's a little bit more like of the subdued Christmas colors, I would call it. So, but it only comes in these big skeins, and they are 285 yards. So I could probably knit hats for the entire family out of those 3 big balls. But I was thinking I might make a Christmas stocking for Miles after this. We'll see. But it's such a cute pattern. And free.
Yeah.
All right.
So Heather says she's doing a muscle burrow in worsted, so she hopes it knits up quick. And Janet has her Christmas knitting done, another person with Christmas knitting done, and she's working on the Odyssey shawl. Sue just started a pattern from the Woolly Thistle, and Teresa's working on slipper socks. Julia's doing her bee's knees cardigan. That's on my list. That's a really nice cabled sweater that I really would like to make. Let's see what everybody else is doing here. Sheila says she's working on her first festival dress and she'll be lucky to have it knit by Christmas. There's a couple of things, Sheila, that I did that made mine a little easier. So the first one I did in the actual pattern and used the actual weight of yarn. For the second 2, so that's this one. And the latest one, I'm actually using DK weight yarn and just doing the math. So it's not a whole lot less knitting, but it is still like when I did this one, I had like 13 rows in between the stripes. When I do this one, I only have 11 rows in between stripes. with fewer stitches.
Mhm.
And then one thing that I found on this pattern, when you go through and you're doing that bobble row, when you go back and you have to like knit 3 together through the back loop. That is difficult, I found, when it's doing it. So the way I do it is I kind of slip the first 2 loops, knit the 3rd loop through the back of the loop, and then pass them over. And I found that was a lot easier than trying to get my needle through all 3. So if that I found at first that was something that was slowing me down until I started doing the other way, and they look exactly the same. So hopefully that helps.
Back to your sweater again, Noelle.
Yes.
Is it single strand?
Yes.
Or how double? Single.
It's
okay.
Single strand. Yep.
And Donna is working on the Fern Frost scarf. It's a pearl gray cashmere. Oh my gosh. That will be lovely.
Be beautiful.
It's so soft. That'll be, what will that be like on your skin? What will that be like on your skin, Noelle?
Not butter.
That will feel like butter.
No, it won't. It'll feel like cashmere.
No, it will feel like butter. It'll be so smooth on your skin. It will feel like
butter is for bread. Cashmere is for skin.
Anyway. Well, it will be lovely, Donna. I know it will.
It will be.
Beautiful. Diane's working on Ostis shawl in a DK for her daughter. Is that for a gift, Diane? And
quite a few people are doing the muscle burrow.
I got yarn for that too.
Well, mine's cast on, but I haven't gotten very far because I had too many other things that I had to finish. But I did get Rachel's sweater done and blocked and delivered. But
Beth says she's late because her power is off. And it took her a while to install YouTube on her phone. So now she's out spinning Dorset merino in her she shed. Oh, wow. That sounds like a fun night too.
I kind of consider my whole house my she shed.
I'm in my she shed. This is definitely my she shed.
We have crafting stuff in every room.
Yes, every room is a craft room.
That's right.
What else do we have? Sue's working on a 3rd pair of Christmas gift socks, 2 at a time. Slow, but no second sock syndrome. You know, Sue, I used to knit them 2 at a time as well. And then I don't know why I stopped. I should try that again.
I can't.
You don't like knitting them 2 at a time?
No, I don't. No. And I'm usually pretty good about getting the second one cast on, getting it done. I did finish this morning. I finished my lucky dip number 11 for November. I mean,
with the date is fair.
Well, no, I had to have them done by tonight. So I just finished them today.
Oh, that's right. Today's okay. Right. So, I said yesterday.
There they are.
They're pretty, really pretty.
So, and this one I was originally going to do a contrast toe, or contrast heel, but I kind of like the way the bullseye went on it because I just liked where the yarn ended up, and I thought, I think that'll look okay doing it.
Yeah, I like that too.
I don't know if anybody has tried this or done it, but I really like it. I did just the single line for the decreases where you do a double centered decrease.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the look of that.
Yep.
So I did that for the toe too.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing about doing that is if you're doing it on like 2 16-inch circulars, it's difficult. You kind of need to be doing it on a magic loop because you have to slip that last stitch to the beginning of your next round to do the double centered decrease. But I really like the look of the neatness of the line in it. But
Janie is on the cuff of her Shirley Bryan deconstructed fade.
Wow.
Yay, Janie.
Yay. Yep.
And she said that she's starting her Advent tomorrow.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because December 1st, everybody will be looking at their
Advent calendars.
Yep. You know what? I would love to have one to open, but realistically, I don't have time in December to knit an Advent calendar.
I like the concept. I like the idea of having the time. And I'm telling you, one of these years, I'm going to have the time. I'm going to make the time.
I don't know, Kelly. I could see doing it in January. I'm knocking my sweaters off my tree here. There.
Okay. Susie was asking again.
Julia said the lucky dip's been inspiring. You know what, Julia? I think I would do that again next year. Like I was actually thinking for next year, I've got, and you probably do too, Kelly, I've got tons of Patton's Croy. Like I bet I have enough Patton's Croy to make everybody in the family a pair of socks in Patton's Croy. So I might do that for next year. So, and it kind of, I didn't have to think about it. I put them in at the beginning of the year and I just pulled out one every month. And that's just, I had to do that pair that month. So. Tracy says she's working on her Christmas sweater, the Jilgren. Is that, I think that's the one. Is that the one with the Christmas tree on the front, Tracy? I think it is, by Andy Satterland, maybe. Anyway, I've looked at that one. I really like it. So if that's the one I'm thinking about. Wendy wanted to know what style of heel is it? It's an afterthought heel, Wendy. So I did it after the fact, did the whole sock, then went back in and cut it in. Now that sock is for one of my girls whose feet are slightly bigger than mine. So before I actually start doing the decreases, I actually knit 5 rows of stocking stitch once I pick up the stitches. I think you do too, Kelly, don't you?
I do 5 rows. I have a really I have a high instep, arch instep. And that helps.
And if I'm doing it for the guys, I actually do 7 rows just to give that much more depth in the heel. So, oh, Sarah, yay.
Just a second. I've lost what I'm trying to get to. Here we go. Yay, Sarah. She gets confetti. That is an undertaking. She's completely finished. Steek, shawl collar, belt loops, sweater, the whole deal. I'm so excited to see that one. That's not, you haven't posted that anywhere for us to see yet, have you, Sarah?
Yeah, we'll
or have I missed it? I haven't been on Instagram a lot in the last couple of days. But congratulations. That is an undertaking for sure.
So Tracy said that the sweater she was talking about, the jewel grunt, it was that one. It's really cute. It's like a crop sweater that comes to here and it's got a Christmas tree on the front of it. And then you can actually sew little decorations on the Christmas tree if you want to.
Nice.
Yeah.
I see you've moved your little sweater tree to behind you a little bit.
Well, no, this is a different tree. This is a bigger tree.
It's not the one that was. Oh, you still have the other one. Okay.
Yes. I just moved the sweaters.
I was thinking I could have put lights on behind me tonight. I could have found some Christmas themed lights. I have to decorate. I have to decorate the set back here. I've got some ideas. I have to get moving on my ideas, obviously. Hi, Cherie. She's joined in.
Mary says she likes wintertime because her hubby is not in the garden and he helps get things done around the house. I asked Ross if he would actually like to learn how to weave and end, and he said no.
Imagine that. I was busy sewing on the weekend, and I was thinking I should teach Mike how to come down here and like do some of the other, like like he could maybe string the bags. He could help pack the bags. I don't know. He really wasn't having any of it, so it's all me. Well,
Ross is going to do all the little labels to go around the socks.
Oh,
Jacqueline made us a little logo thingy that says like Nelson Family Christmas socks. So he's going to make all the little things to go all around the socks. So that's good. So, and I did get the loom warped.
Did you?
So, and he does help me with that. Like he helps me roll it. So,
Vanda's, she's been struggling. She said she has shingles down her right arm.
Oh,
Ouch.
Vanda.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's not good.
Marianne has just split or is about to split for sleeves on the gold wing.
That's really pretty. Sarah said she'd like to have her own special crafting space. You just got to get rid of these kids.
Sarah, have patience. It took me 24 years to get my own room. 24 years. That's a long time.
Took me longer than that.
But you have every room. It took me.
I do have every room now, but I didn't.
Oh, I just lost. I was going to comment on something there. Sorry. I finished my sweater last night. My Celtic knot sweater. So I'm going to block it. I'm going to block it tonight after, and I'll put it underneath the fan because I think we're supposed to podcast tomorrow night, aren't we?
One of these nights.
Yes, soon. So it needs to be dry.
Yeah. Well, see, you need Ross to make you or Mike to make you one of those sweater boards because I did
Jumper board,
Rachel's
yes.
jumper boards. I did Rachel's and I blocked it on that. It was dry like in no time.
Oh, really?
You've got the air going through both ways,
air.
right?
Yep.
So, yeah, I should have taken a picture of it because it was one that blocked out like with straight arms, but I forgot anyway. So, Sue says her husband is a human swift when she winds her skeins.
Mine used to be too. And then he bought me a Swift for Christmas. So I guess that was the hint that he didn't want to be the human Swift anymore.
That's good. My kids didn't want to be the human Swift anymore.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, luckily back then when I made them hold it, I was working with worsted weight yarn, not fingering weight. Because that would have been a lot longer.
Hello, Nancy from South Texas. La Jolla girl. See, I'm saying it the right way now. I've got it ingrained in the brain. We were talking. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We were talking last week about the lessons learned in home ec, and I had said that I would bring the recipe. So I'm just going to pop it up here. I don't know how this is going to display. So you can either get out your pen and paper. It's super simple. And yes, that recipe card has been around since my grade 10 days. You can see how many things have spilled on it. It's a super simple recipe if you want to mark it down. Or we are at the 27-minute mark in the show. So you can either screenshot this or you can come back after to the 27-minute mark and you can grab it. I suppose I could have typed it out down below, but there you go for everybody that wanted to try that. And then also going back, when I was off work, my aunt popped by and thought that I might like to see some pictures that she had. These are funny, from mid 1980s. And I'm going to share them. Who is this girl? Is this me or is this Molly Ringwald? Check this out. Look at that hair. Look at that. That's crazy. And then there's a picture of me with my Aunt Elma. What? Look at that hair. What did I think this
look like you?
It
hold it up again. Hold it up again.
Oh gosh. That's me. That is me. All that hair.
Wow.
And check out the bracelets and how many earrings in there, and that hair teased easily that big. That's crazy. Anyway, so I think I was probably 18 there, but this one just made me laugh. I just like, although I have to say, I would totally wear those little boots today. I wish I still had them. Those little granny boots. Do you guys remember those? They were just like little lace-up boots. I would totally wear the boots if I had them. This was in here too.
Anyways, well, Marianne says we all had hair like that. I did not have hair like that.
I hardly, Julia, hairspray was hardly a thing. My hair was that big. It just poofed. And then she had this too. So this is a picture of Kendall when she was 2 years old and me. Look at her. Look at that cutie. Look at my big bangs. There's so many big bangs there.
You know, my sister actually used to wear her hair like that. And I remember my kids were I don't know, one of them was afraid of her. And I said, well, why are you afraid of Aunt Mary? And he goes, she has big hair.
I couldn't help my big hair. It was just big. Because I used to think, like, how did I ever get it that big?
Yeah, but
like,
you have so much hair already. So when you tease it up, it's going to be like.
Yeah, I know. And it was black. What was I thinking? Anyway. Yeah, Janie says a little dent was made on the ozone. Yeah, probably, Janie. You're right. My gosh, it was big hair though.
So anyways, so going back to talking about last week too, I think last week we were talking about how we love when a lot of people from the States say hello y'all and
hey y'all.
Hey y'all, and we're talking about, you know, how we always say sorry. So Tracy actually sent me this picture from a craft shop up in Bala that she took, that they were selling this in the store.
Absolutely. That is us. That's Canadians in a nutshell right there.
So I was going to ask Ross if you could make one of those.
Yeah. Oh, Kim says she used to get her hair permed like those pictures. Wow.
I think I got my hair permed like once or twice, and I hated it because it just.
No, I never had a perm. It was
You
all,
didn't
it
need
was just,
one.
I didn't need it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Aquanet. I remember Aquanet.
No, my spray of choice was the Aussie scrunch spray. That was like a glue, and you just like crunch that in when your hair was wet, and my hair just like poofed up like that. Yeah, Aussie
Or the
scrunch
mousse that
spray.
you put in that was supposedly, but then
Yep.
your hair was stiff from the mousse.
Oh, I guarantee my hair was very likely stiff, but there was just a lot of hair. It's big hair. Anyway, look back on those. That was funny. So yeah, that's what I came back to work. She had those on my desk. So I thought, you know what? You guys deserve to see all of that craziness too.
Yeah, I think I've lost my pictures from ages ago, thankfully. Even when I look at my wedding pictures, I'm like, oh man.
Oh, Susan said that she always wanted straight hair. Oh, well, me too. How many times? Straighten it, straighten it. I actually remember laying it out on an ironing board and ironing it to get it. Like this was pre-straighteners, right? It was very thick hair. So you did what you had to do. And Susan said that now that hers is gray, it's all sleek that she wanted when she was a teenager. I don't know. Yes, Marianne, the
Mine's
Aussie instant freeze. It was an instant freeze.
like I would say mine's gone the opposite. Like my hair was straight, and I mean it's straight now because I straightened it. But if I don't straighten it, it's just wavy, but it's not curly enough to look good. It just looks messy. But
Yeah.
but yeah, when I was younger, it was straight, and of course you wanted it curled. And that was the same with my kids. The boys had really curly hair, and two of them had really curly hair, and the youngest one wanted his straight so badly.
That's always the way. We're just never happy with what we have. You know,
No.
if our hair is curly, we want it straight. If it's straight, we want it curly. And I don't
Oh,
know.
Sarah, home perms never work. Never.
Susan said that she slept in the huge pink plastic rollers.
Yes.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh, the agony.
Yep.
I think I've tried every kind of thing to get my hair straight and not frizzy and so curly. And
Well,
it
I think
just,
that the actual kits that they sold to actually straighten your hair did more damage to your hair than perms.
well, yes, I guess you could. You could get it like chemically straightened, right?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
never did that. I was always afraid to do things like that. Janet says Dippy Doo hair jelly. I
Yeah,
remember
I
that.
remember Dippy do a little
Dippy
dabble do.
Doo, little
Little
dabble
dabble
do.
do.
Yeah. Oh, I see Jose's in here now. Jose, were you here earlier when I called you a nasty enabler?
Like we need help.
I hit up that wholesale hard, girl. Oh goodness. But it's been shipped. So
Oh, Beth says she has poodle curls.
poodle curls. Oh.
Anyway, all three of my granddaughters all have curls. So
Oh, Becky says her cousin used to use orange juice cans. Oh my
oh,
gosh.
oh, that would be hard to sleep in.
I have to my hair is not ever down when I sleep anyway. I can't stand this touching me at night. So like I tie it all up in a knot on top of my head before I go to bed. But who was saying on here that we should all post pictures of ourselves years ago? Who said that? I have to go back.
Not
Who said
me.
that? We should all
Trust
put in now
me.
and then photos of ourselves in the knit chat on Instagram for fun. That would be fun. I could do that. Well, you've already seen me then, and you see me now.
I'm
So,
going back to 5 because from 5 to 20 weren't good.
um, well, the ridiculous thing is, as a teenager, I'm guessing I probably thought all of that looked pretty good. I
Well,
don't
we all
know.
did, right? We
We
were
all
trying
thought
to
we looked
be
good.
like, well, was it, I think it was when I was about 12 or 13. It was when the shag haircut first came in.
Oh, I could never have a shag. My hair was too curly.
So Anyways, but my mom wouldn't let me have the back part of it. And I'm like, so then it looks really silly with just the stuff here. And so, and then mullets. I did have a mullet at one point.
Oh, actually, Jose, I hope everything is okay. I just see what you typed. Hopefully everything is all right. Susan said she always had straight hair and her mom tried so hard to make it curly. She used the spoolies.
Yeah.
Is that the little things that you roll and then you kind of tied them in a knot? Hello, Olivia. She just joined in too. Okay. First haircut was a shag. Tina.
Yeah.
I think maybe once upon a time when I was young, there's a picture of me, little me, that had kind of a shag haircut. When my sister and I were young girls, we had long hair, and I think we wanted to get it cut like around 5 or 6 year mark. So we had our ponytails, right? They just put in the ponytail and cut the ponytail off, and then we got the short haircuts. It wasn't a good look on me. I'm going to say that. And Mike teases me all the time. He said if he has seen a picture of me with short hair, it wasn't a good look. And he says I should never repeat that. So I don't know. We'll just leave it at that, I guess. But there are days when I think how much easier short hair would have to be, especially in the summer when it's hot. So.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think that too. Like, I've grown mine out in the pandemic, and I do like it, but boy, it is a lot longer to dry it, and
yeah,
but it is nice just to be able to tie it up or tie it back.
I was looking at some pictures of us from a couple of years ago, so I'm trying to think, would have been New York or Columbus or both. Your hair was so short; it was like literally up to here, and now I can't even imagine what it would look like that because I'm so used to seeing it longer, right?
Yeah.
Hi, Lisa from Australia.
Hi.
If you're just here, Lisa, you're probably wondering what you've tuned into because there's no knitting
in our hands. It is a knitting podcast.
We're talking about 80s haircuts, and we are a knitting podcast. And I just feel lost tonight because even though I don't knit a lot, I always have knitting on the go. And now I've got no needles. I've got nothing I can even do. I didn't bring a project down because I'm going to cast this hat on. And I ended up with the wrong size needles.
Guess what I'm doing?
Is that the muscle burrow? No. Oh, you're swatch.
It's a swatch.
It's not a swatch.
It's not for a sweater, though.
No. Tell us. Do you want to tell
you the story?
Yeah.
Okay. Irony of ironies. I don't do that many swatches. So at all. So the last time I was in at Little Red Mitten when I was dropping off a sample knit, they asked me to knit all these swatches for them out of a lot of all their different yarns. So they're really not a swatch. They're really a sample just to show what the colors look up like. But it's like I'm doing a 4-inch or the 6-inch one of a whole bunch of different colors. So,
but then when you told me what you were going to do, I said, hooray, maybe that will slow you down and I'll actually catch up so that when we podcast, I'll have some finished projects. And you laughed. And then what did you say that your son-in-law said?
I said that my son-in-law said to me, he goes, I bet you Kelly called them and told them to make you do that.
Just to slow you down, right?
Anyway. So yes, that is what I'm doing. And it's actually not that bad because it's nice to see all the colors. But anyway.
Jose is knitting the Cielo mittens. Mine are still down here because I'm the world's worst person. I don't get anything photographed and up onto my Ravelry page or onto my Instagram page. Sometimes when I post finished objects, it might be something I finished 3 or 4 months ago. I'm terrible. So those are mine. But you can admire them again because they're still so...
Wait. I have to go get mine.
Are they done?
No.
Oh.
One is.
Okay. Well, there. I'm ahead of you because I have 2.
You are.
What are you knitting them in, Jose? Curious. They're such a beautiful pattern. I love the stitch definition in them. They're so pretty. And these are I'm looking for the ball band. Sorry. They were knit in, what did I say these were knit in?
100% baby
Baby
llama
long
from,
leather. Right. And so you've, yeah.
so
How
there's
pretty
my,
they are. How many rows less did you do? Because you got less
um,
here, I can tell.
I did because I knew I would run out of yarn.
Mm-hmm.
So this was almost, I
Like
think
a
it
fuzzy.
was half of, just not quite half the skein. So I should be fine for the second one.
Because I ended up using 56
Yes.
grams.
Yeah.
So we
I didn't cut
figured
out
that if,
that many, maybe about 6 or 7
yeah,
rows.
but we figured if you just cut out a little bit this
Yep.
way, you'd
And I
probably
mean,
have enough.
that's still plenty long enough on my,
Yeah. I mean, these are probably, if I'm being truthful, they're a little longer than I would normally make them, but I just went by the pattern and I couldn't love them more.
I know, like the, even that, like the palm side of it is all the twisted rib and it just hugs your hand just perfectly to keep that steering wheel from getting your hand cold.
Well, you know what? If I forget to pre-start my car, my steering wheel is cold
There
too,
you
Noelle.
go.
So there you go. Uh,
Oh,
oh,
Josie's doing hers in
Jose,
Rowan silk and whole super soft. That sounds nice.
that sounds nice too. Make sure
Yeah,
you show them off to us. We really want to see them. And yes,
we
I
should.
agree. The pattern is very elegant. They're just, it's such a beautiful, beautiful pattern. Beautiful. I just like looking at them. I've been leaving them down here, just
Why is
checking them
it doing
out.
that? I was gonna type it in. Did you type it into the chat what it was?
No, I can.
Okay, but I'll
Oh,
put it
well,
on
I
the
could if
banner.
I still had my, if I get my keyboard back, I could. Since I'm not going to have a pattern on it anymore.
Is that spelt right?
Yes, but the it's actually called the
Oh, the hand
Cielo hand
warmers.
warmers.
Okay.
If somebody's looking for the pattern,
Okay. And it's
so,
by unit, right?
Claudia
Claudia?
Q of Unit. Yes, yes.
They are. This yarn is very nice. And it's amazing because like look how teeny it looks before you put it on. But then when
I
you put it
know,
on, it just hugs your hand like
I
perfectly.
know. They're really, but it's that.
The rib.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
So pre-warning: if you don't like doing a twisted rib, that's all twisted rib,
Yep.
and that is probably not my choice to do. Like that's not something that I would strike out and say, hey, I want to do a large pattern in twisted rib, because I typically don't like doing that. But these went really quick, and yeah, I love them. So
I
soft.
know my second one I think will go faster than the first one because this one I was trying to gauge how much yarn to use and how
Yeah,
many, so I was constantly putting it on to see if it was long enough. So now that I've got that down, I think the second one will go faster. But I still don't know if I'll get to it before Christmas.
This would be a super pattern if you're looking for like something beautiful to make for somebody. This would be like
Yep.
the best. Julia is wanting to know what bind off we did. Do you know? I don't remember.
I did tubular.
I didn't. So I'm trying to think what I did. I don't know. Sorry, Julia. I might have it on here. I can check. Let me see.
Yeah, Jose agrees that the second one does go a whole lot faster. I find that with socks too, that my second one always goes faster than the first because I know exactly how many rows. I know even if I'm doing a self striping, I know exactly where the heel's going to go. And it's, I don't know, not that there's a whole lot of planning in the first one, but it just seems like the second one goes faster. Same with sleeves. I always find the first sleeve, I'm always marking where the decreases go and trying it on to see how long it is, measuring. And then when I get to the second one, I've got all my stitch markers marked where I did my decreases, and the second one goes so much faster.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think I did, when I'm looking at it, I look back, I think I'm pretty confident I just did like a regular cast off in rib. So knit through the back and then purl and then cast off as I went. So Because sometimes, like, I like a straight edge on the hand warmers. So that's what it looks like anyway. Uh, so Jose says it's cold there in Quebec, so she thinks she's going to wear them underneath a regular mitten. Yeah, that would be nice too. I
That's
mean,
you could
you could
pick.
easily keep going if you wanted to turn these into
Yeah.
mittens too, right? Just
Now, what my daughter-in-law does, I gave her some like the fingerless mitts. They were the skein pattern that had the color work on the front. So she
Mhm.
just puts like a pair of those little gloves underneath, and then she puts the fingerless one on top of it. So you've got extra warmth in all through your palm and part of your thumb, but you've still got like glove fingers at the top of it. So they can just give you that little bit extra warmth. Now, Wendy said, what's the name of the yarn on the gloves? For
I'm just
ours,
typing it.
Diamond Luxury
Baby.
Llama. Baby Llama Heather.
Oh my gosh. I misspelled each and every one of those words. There we go. It is a discontinued yarn. Whoops.
Oh, I thought I took that off there.
There. It's a discontinued yarn. But there are some places that you can still source it. If you do a little bit of a Google search, I found some at a store in Toronto and they were able to ship it. And I know even here in Sarnia, the store that we have, this is where some of it came from too. Heaven is Handmade here in Sarnia had some of the colors. I know they still had this color last I checked. And yeah, it feels like cashmere. It feels like butter.
It doesn't feel like butter. It feels like cashmere.
Anyway, I love them.
Okay, Kelly, put one on one hand and then put your other hand in butter.
Butter?
See if you can tell the difference.
I bet I can't.
Maybe we'll try that on the podcast.
That'd be a waste of good butter.
So Pat says anyone that's kids, babies, even big kids, the Pom Pom Snowman hat is by Tara Marie and it's free and fast.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
No, I haven't either.
Pom Pom Snowman
have to
hat.
check that out. Pom Pom Snowman hat.
It sounds really cute.
Jose, I don't have the same steering wheel as Kelly either. Mine's cold. And Jose agrees with
Don't
it.
hate me because I have a heated steering wheel, Noelle. I can't help it. It came with the car. Having had it, I swear, I'm never going to not want to have it though. It really is nice.
Well, I have heated, we have, well, you have, I'm sure you have heated seats too, but I have heated seats and I can't imagine not having those now.
No, I know, right?
Yeah.
And the first time I had a car with them, I was like, oh, heated seats.
Yeah.
But now.
Marianne says, I can't believe it's not butter.
Just pulling it up. Oh, that's so cute. Can I make this bigger? Yes, I can. There we go. Look at this little hat.
Oh, that's adorable.
Isn't that cute?
Yep.
Look at that. That's really cute. And it looks like it's done in a...
Is it a thicker weight yarn?
Yes. Lion brand Woolies Thick and Quick. So it's a super bulky. And you're knitting... Oh, it's by Fox and Pine Stitches too. Well, there we go. That's why.
Is that the one that's the hat? The little elf hat?
Okay. Yes. And the little bear beanie that I made too.
Okay. Okay.
So again, this is one of those patterns that goes 3 to 6 months all the way up to adult size. It is available at $6 Canadian. Very reasonable. Although it does say there's a free version available also. So
well,
maybe
sometimes if you go in on the blog.
Yeah, on her blog maybe. But that would be fun. And that would be super quick to knit. So you're knitting that also on...
So how does the snowman face? Is it done after or do you knit it in?
You know, I don't know, but because I don't have the pattern in front of me. I'm just looking at the picture. I would say it's a duplicate stitch. It looks to me when I zoom right in, it looks like duplicate stitch. So cute though. Like, so cute.
There you go.
Oh, Pat says
That's just
duplicate stitch. Okay.
okay. Okay.
And
Yeah,
fast.
it's
Yes, I
cute.
know. I did the little bear beanie. I think I have about a half an hour of knit time in it.
Does that one
So,
go up bigger too?
well, I don't know if an adult would want to wear a bear
Well, I don't
beanie.
mean for an adult, but I mean like for like a 3-year-old.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Unless you want to wear one.
That's it. Noelle, you're getting a bear beanie for Christmas. Oh, goodness. Goodness, goodness. I'm feeling lost without my knitting. We can talk about what we have going on in Ravelry.
Okay.
We've got
Go ahead.
our just a minute. Pull that up. It's on there somewhere.
Is that okay? I'll find it. I'll find it. You talk,
Okay.
I'll find.
So we have the warm winter woolies Makealong going on. So it started on November the 1st, and we're running it all the way through until January 31st, Noelle?
First. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And it is a outside accessory Makealong. So you can knit, you can crochet, you can weave, anything that you're doing to make an outside, you could sew. You could sew a winter accessory. So anything that you need to put on as an accessory to go out into the cold. So hats, headbands, scarves, cowls, mittens, gloves, leg warmers, no socks, no sweaters, just outdoor accessories. And you can enter that into our Ravelry Makealong, and we're going to have some prizes. And this hashtag running along the bottom is for our Instagram people, and you can use that hashtag. And we want to see what you're up to. I didn't check tonight. When I checked on the weekend, there were nearly 100 already in there. You guys are fast, just fast.
Yes. And it's awesome to see them all. Then it's just more things that I want to make. Like right now, I want to make all the hats and mitts.
I know.
I have
I'm
to
all
finish
over
a
hats
dress.
and mitts.
Yeah. I saw, there was a really cute mitten pattern on Ravelry today, and I contacted the designer. I can't remember her name. She only sells them from Norway. So they're in Norwegian, but I'm going to get a copy. She only sells it individually. It's not on Ravelry. I'm going to get a copy and see how I can do with translating from Norwegian. There's a chart. She said there's a chart.
There's a chart. Okay.
Yeah, so it can't be that. I figure I can put it into Google Translate. You should get the gist of it. Yeah, we'll figure it out. So
we can ask Benta for help if we need to.
Yeah. Yeah. So then our other knit along that we have going on is our sock knit along that basically goes all year. It doesn't have to be started and finished in a particular month, just any socks that you finish, put them in, and we go back and we draw every month, once for a pattern by Natalie of Remembrance Potteries, who has gorgeous patterns, and then also a yarn prize. And then at the end of the year, we're going to go back and draw one prize for kind of like a big overall prize. But yeah, so you have as many chances as you put socks in there, because we go back and we draw right from the beginning of the year. So the more socks you have in there, the more chances that you have to win. And there's a ton of socks in there. So
yes, I looked the other day and I'm trying to remember what the number was when I was in there. I checked. There's a lot. Everybody's been busy.
Yes.
There's going to be some. I'm going to do the math. I'm going to do this at the end of the year. I'm going to take the number of pairs in there, estimate the number of stitches in a pair of socks of a medium size, and I'll multiply that by the number of socks. And I'm going to tell you that number. And then I'm going to try to figure out a conversion chart to see how far you could get in that many stitches.
Okay.
Converting them.
An average lady's sock is about 10,000 stitches. One sock.
No way.
Yes.
Really? I'm shocked by that.
Yes.
Shocked.
Well, you look, okay, so 64. So if you do 64 stitches, okay, 20 rows of rib, let's say even just 20 rows of rib and 70 rows before you start the leg.
Okay.
Okay, so let's just say 100, even though you're not going to do 80 rows, but still, let's just average it at that. So that's 100 rows in total times the 64 is 6,400, and you haven't even gotten to the foot.
Wow. That's hard to believe. No wonder it takes us so long.
Yeah. So
okay.
It's like 20,000 stitches for a pair of socks.
So far there are 1,322 pairs of socks in there, and there's 106 warm winter woolies.
Wow.
Knitter's gonna knit. Knitter's gonna knit. That's what. That's fantastic. That's good. That's great. Yep. So impressed. Always so impressed.
It is kind of daunting when you start looking at the number of stitches, because for Rachel's sweater I was doing the Nakni Swemo. No, Nakni Swemo, which is National Knit a Sweater in a Month for November. Yes. So your sweater had to be at least 50,000 stitches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I did the math while I was doing it, and because there wasn't a whole lot of shaping in that sweater, it was just kind of straight down. It was pretty easy to do the math. Over 82,000 stitches. It was between 82 and 83,000 stitches.
That's crazy.
So, and that's a DK weight. So can you imagine if you got into a fingering weight sweater?
Julie is shocked by that number too.
10,000 stitches in a sock. I know. There used to be a podcast called 10,000 Stitches, and that's why she called it that, because that was the number of stitches in a pair of socks. In a sock.
Okay. Well, that's some big math ahead of me then to figure all of that out for you.
Well, it's just a lot of zeros.
A lot of zeros. But I want to know how far we can get if I were to convert that stitches into like a linear distance.
Yeah.
Sue says that she's been taking Norwegian on Duolingo just for that reason for over a year now, so that she can read Norwegian patterns.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Sue, if Noelle gets stuck on her pattern,
2022 goal.
Yeah, if you get stuck on your pattern, maybe Sue can help us out. Yeah.
Marianne said that in skating, they had a rule of thumb that it took 10,000 times to perfect something. So there you go. By the end of that sock, you got one perfect stitch in it.
Yeah, one stitch, right? Not one perfect pair of socks, one perfect stitch. Yeah. That's right, Nancy. It's no wonder our hands hurt sometimes. Although I don't get sore hands. I don't ever get sore hands from knitting.
My wrist sometimes gets a little sore, but it's usually just if I'm doing one repetitive stitch.
Okay.
Like it's actually almost better when you're doing something like if you've got knit and purl as opposed to just continually knitting.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just breaks up the, I don't know, when you're doing a different stitch, your hands are kind of doing a different movement. So you're not doing the repetitive thing consistently.
So last night when I was finishing up my sweater, so I was on the second sleeve and it has that sort of all over cable that's coming all the way down. Probably about halfway down the sleeve, all of a sudden, it's like everything came into focus. And I could have knit the rest of the sweater without even looking at that very detailed pattern. It's just like after knitting like down both shoulders and the one sleeve and having to like constantly refer back to the pattern. By the time I got halfway through the second sleeve, I'm like, light bulb moment. And then I was almost disappointed that I was finished the sleeve, disappointed that I was finished the sleeve, because I thought this is so much fun now. Now I just want to do more cables. It just clicked. It just all clicked so quickly. It's just weird how that happens, right?
Maybe we should think about doing like some sort of a cable knit along in the new year.
We could do that, because I know that that's something that quite a few people have talked about in here. Mm-hmm. They're either like really comfortable like with doing cables, like Donna, who's fantastic with cables. And then some people are nervous to try. And, you know, you can just sort of go your own way. You can pick some, if you haven't done cables before and you're feeling a little intimidated by them, what better way to get over that intimidation than with friends, right?
Well, and plus like you could do a hat, which is like relatively simple with a cable in it. And it's not a huge time commitment like a sweater is. Like you might want to try something like that before you go into a sweater.
Yeah.
There's lots of sock patterns that have cables in it. There's mitten patterns that have cables in it. cowls that have cables in them. So there's lots of, and they make your knitting look so much more difficult than it actually is, right? Like the pattern looks really intricate, but they're really, I think once you go into it and you actually try it, they're really not that intimidating.
Yeah.
So
I just made a note of that because sometimes I feel like we talk about things and we say, oh yeah, let's do that. And then it could be forget. Like 6 months later, I'm thinking, didn't we talk about that? And we said we were going to do that. So I'm going to start making notes about all the great ideas that come up on KnitChat.
Yes. And we have to get together over the holidays and make up some questions for our Knitting Jeopardy.
Yes. I was thinking about that yesterday too. We have to do Knitting Jeopardy. Oh, so many things. Yep. So I actually have a little bit of a, I guess I have a bit of a Christmas extension this year anyway, because Christmas in this house isn't happening until Kendall, Derek, and Miles get here. So that is, I believe, January the 10th. So I really don't have a deadline of December 24th. In my mind, I have extra time. That will come back and get me because I will keep thinking, oh, there's time. I've got time. And then I won't get the things done. And it will still be January the 8th and everybody else is all rested from their busy holiday. And Kelly will still be running around thinking, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess when we talk about Christmas knitting, I don't traditionally knit a whole lot for Christmas, but there are certain traditions that I like to do over Christmas. So like some baking. I like to do baking. I like to take that into work. I like to make up little containers of baking and gift those away too to people. Visiting over the holidays is really important to me, more so honestly than gift buying. I value time spent with friends. Pretty high up there on my list of priorities. So yes, there's gift buying for children and, for our children, although they're not children anymore. But for me, it's really just about trying to take some of that time and enjoy it with friends. And yeah.
I don't, well, I mean, I guess I do a lot of knitting because I do the socks for everybody. And usually something for the girls, but I have to try and plan it out so that it's not all in December. And I've done relatively well this year doing the socks, like a pair a month. So I'm hoping to continue that. But yeah, then there's other things that I do too, like the baking and usually we make bread for everybody.
Yes, the bread is great. Yes.
Yeah. So, and great big batches of nuts and bolts.
Yes, nibblies. I like the idea of the visiting. I like the idea of the wine. We're a big games family. That's kind of something that we do over the holidays when we get together. It's pajamas and games. I don't know. Christmas Day, traditionally, I do quiche for breakfast because when the kids were a little younger, it was always nice to have something baking in the oven while we were doing the gift opening. And then we would just sit around for the rest of the day, play some games, play with new toys, I guess, that they got, and then move on into dinner. But this year, Christmas Day might be relatively quiet for us. It might just be Mike and I, maybe my dad. But yeah. And in the last few years, too, something else that we've done with Kendall and Derek, because for a number of years prior to COVID, we were going to BC for Christmas. And the last time that we were there for Christmas, which would be 2 years ago now, as of this Christmas, we flew out on Christmas Day. And that's the first time we've ever flown on Christmas Day. So we did Christmas Eve with Damon and Alex. And then we hopped on a plane on Christmas Day and flew across the country. And we got in, I think around 2:00 in the afternoon. It was wonderful to travel on Christmas Day. The airport was lightly peppered with people. There was hardly anybody flying. And we arrived. Kendall was cooking dinner. I didn't have to cook that day. Derek picked us up. It was great. And we just really, we enjoyed that. So we've got some other people chiming in. Mary's talking about latkes and donuts. I like that idea.
Yeah, Susan was saying that she does quiche and I do the baked French toast casserole because it's actually, you can get it ready the night before.
Yes.
So all you have to do is stick it in the oven. And then we usually
I do that with my quiche. I get all of everything cut up and ready and separated, and then all I have to do is dump it in the shells in the morning, and I pour the eggs and the cream over top, and then into the oven it goes. So that's pretty easy too. Julia is talking about sequence. Yes, that's one of our family favorites, Julia. That's a game that we like to play a lot.
Susan says her husband and her are taking cooking classes together for their mutual Christmas gifts. That's a good idea. I don't know if I could talk Ross into going to a cooking class.
Susan, send me that link. Can my husband join?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I think it's fantastic. I like sort of a non-traditional approach to the holidays. I still work, so I find that the franticness of trying to get out and shop for everything is just tricky for me. And I like to make homemade gifts. And I'm also, I traditionally sort of like to do gifts throughout the year. So if I'm somewhere and I see something that somebody would like, I like to get it then and give it to them then instead of just waiting specifically for Christmas. For me, really, Christmas it's about the connection and the visiting and the people. So
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Julia said her husband's usually working on Christmas Day, but he's a pilot. Well, can't you fly with him on Christmas Day? Like, they should let pilots take their spouses on Christmas Day, Julia. That's what I think. But I love that cooking class idea. I think that's really fun, Susan. That's a great idea. Yes, and Noel's socks are a tradition too.
Yep. I don't know what they'd say if I didn't have the socks. Oh, Tracy says the game of Wizard is fun. Well, that depends who you're playing with, Tracy. We played with them up north, and some choice words got thrown around.
But that's all fun.
It was fun.
That's all fun. Yeah, it is nice. So we're getting really close to having our construction done upstairs, or one level up, I guess, into the living room. Furniture's been ordered. Parts of it are coming on December 13th, and the rest isn't coming until May. So we'll at least have something in the family room, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to having the kids here for Christmas, and I guess you're probably going to have a house full too.
We'll probably have 16 or 17 for Christmas dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So
Julia says nope. No, when you get to go,
there's no restaurants open.
Oh, okay.
Wherever you're going.
That's right. He flies to colder parts of Ontario, doesn't he, Julia? So I guess you'd probably rather sit at home and be cozy and just keep knitting, right? That sounds good. That sounds good.
Okay, so Deborah wanted to know how you can make the graph on the silo mitts larger.
Larger,
like do you mean make the actual glove larger or just make the graph larger? Like, can't I think there
were two sizes in there, weren't there? Like, are you talking about the size of the glove itself, Deborah? Because I think there are multiple sizes in the pattern.
But I think all they did was they increased the number of the rib stitches on each side of the graph. So the graph itself wasn't increased. It was just you put in more of the knit one, purl one to whatever width you want and then just kind of, I guess you just kind of have to figure out how to put the graph kind of in the center or where it's supposed to be to go up your hand.
Right.
I don't have it in front of me, so I can't look at it, but yeah, you get the only place you're going to increase stitches is in the knit one, purl one. It's not going to be in the graph itself.
Mm-mm. And I don't think it was even that much of a stitch difference. I'll just pull it back up.
No, I don't think it was either.
So there is a small, medium, and large, and I made the small, which is I'm not seeing a circumference is a 6.5 to a 7, and then the 8.5, I guess, would be the large.
So I would just look at, if you want to make it larger than that, if you're looking at making the actual mitt larger than that, I would look at the number of stitches that the pattern increased from the small to the next size. Was there 3 sizes, Kelly, or 2?
3. Mm-hmm.
3. Like, look at what the stitch increase is, and if you need it bigger than that, then I would go in increments of that stitch, however many stitches they've increased between each size. Mm-hmm. Right, and then look at how they've incorporated that into the pattern and go by that.
Yep.
So
okay, well, we're getting to that point of the evening where it's about time, I guess, to wrap up. We're at 1 hour and 10 minutes. We're going to be filming our next podcast episode this week. And we thought that we would, when we did the shawl Makealong, we incorporated into the podcast in one episode leading up to it, sort of a shawl parade of our favorite shawls. And so I think that one of the things that we're going to include in the podcast this week is kind of a winter accessory parade. And we're going to bring out some of our favorite knits from the past and just do a quick little show, hopefully to give you some inspiration if you were thinking that there's something out there that you haven't made, and show you some of our favorites and some of the techniques that we use to make them and some of our favorite yarns. So, So we're looking forward to that. And then we have some finishes to show you and some things we're working on.
Yep. So have a good week, everybody. Take care, get lots of knitting done.
We didn't, at the beginning, we didn't even say this, but if, gosh, worst podcast host ever. If you've been here for a while, welcome back. And if you're brand new, welcome to the Shift Show, where we do our welcomes at the end of the podcast. We did have, after our last podcast episode, we had quite a number of new subscribers. So I know that some of the names in here tonight are new names to me and to Noelle. We try to learn your names.
But don't be scared off by this, because we actually really do knit.
Really do knit. I know. I think this is the first time I haven't brought knitting to a knit chat. I attempted to. I brought yarn to the knit chat. Okay. So anyway, we'll be here next Tuesday, same time, same channel, and happy knitting, everybody.
Yeah, happy knitting. Take care. Thanks so much for joining us, and we're looking forward to talking to everybody next week. Okay.
Overlay.
I know, I'm looking for it.